Fresh off the back of a huge win against Newcastle, we're back in action again. This time round, it's Arsenal at London Stadium. Big game, London derby, and against a side, of course, that are doing so well and finding form again and challenging again for the title this season. It's a big game, and I do you know what I like about it now? It's got that added rivalry. The tensions between West Ham and Arsenal were certainly heightened over the last couple of years, of course, of the Rice sale, etc. And I like that. This is what football's all about for me. I really enjoy that kind of that rivalry between sides, especially London clubs. And it's just, yeah, I think it's what it's all about. So, yeah, more than happy the fact that they're going to come here wanting to get their result. One, because they need to, because of their title race, but they want to get one over on West Ham and vice versa. We'll be more than happy to try and derail their title bid again. So that's what, as I say, I feel like that is what football is all about. Before I go into the match preview, though, I just want to say if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. It's free to do so. It really does help this channel grow. And click that like button. I say it takes 2 seconds at your time, even less so, I think, to click the like button. But seriously, it does make a big difference. It helps us to keep growing, getting more people to follow us, and we really do appreciate it. Let's talk about Arsenal. A strange season for them, a strange one, and I can imagine there's a fair bit of frustration in North London at the moment and surrounding Arsenal, because I, like many, felt that this would be their year in terms of winning the title. It still very much could be. I'm not saying it's not. I didn't think Manchester City would be as dominant. I felt this situation with these charges this year was always going to be a bit of a distraction. I always felt that the situation with Pep Guardiola coming in his final season, I appreciate he signed a new deal. He's signed a new 2-year deal, I think, 2026, I think that's right. Might have been 2027, actually. I'm not sure of that, but I know he signed a new deal. I just feel like there's a few things going on with Manchester City at the moment, and it just felt that because Arsenal seem to be getting stronger and stronger, their investments, I mean, the recruitment is spot on. Of course, losing their do, by the way, is a big blow to Arsenal. I think that's a problem for them personally. They've got to get their replacement right. We've talked about Steidton and being linked with that job. That's another video. I just feel like this was the year. This would be the year that Arsenal would go and win the title. They've looked at a club that's going in that direction. And I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen. I still think a title is coming towards Arsenal now. But I feel like the emergence of Liverpool again this season, Arne Slot coming over to that club, he has come in and just filled the boots, or trainers, whatever Klopp were, unbelievably well. You know, he's come in, implemented his own style on that Liverpool side, and they are just running away with it at the moment. And I can't imagine what Arsenal must be feeling. They must feel absolutely dumbfounded that, you know, that they are now having to chase Liverpool. This was their year, you know, as far as they're concerned. So it's a strange one, and I can imagine it's causing a bit of I'll say discomfort, but frustration, I suppose, there at Arsenal at the moment, because they will be feeling that now they've got another big challenger for the title, and let's be honest, one that's playing better than them at the moment. They've just been more consistent than Arsenal. Arsenal have suffered in the last few weeks. I know that they seem to be getting back into form, but ahead of the international break, they'd suffered a few results where they dropped quite a few points. So it looks like they're turning the corner away from that, to be fair to them. So Arsenal are still, don't get me wrong, an unbelievable side, so much quality, a manager that has got them playing. Everything at the moment in terms of their recruitment's been spot on, including the manager. They are a really well-oiled machine, Arsenal. They're the master of the dark arts. They're a nightmare to play against, frustrating at times to watch in terms of how they conduct themselves. I'm not trying to be nasty here. I just feel like they remind me a little bit of Atletico Madrid. They're a bit like that, the Simeone style. They've got that sort of that fierce win at all costs approach to games that I've got no problem with that. At times, I wish we were a little bit more like that, to be honest, a bit more ruthless, and will do anything they can to get a result. And that's what makes them do so well. I feel like that their teams are very much on board with that. There's a real togetherness there. The fans are really behind Arteta, from what I see, and the players are fully on board with it. It's just they're an exciting side, and trophies are coming for that club. There's no two ways about it, but certainly Liverpool's form this season is not ideal for them, and I feel like they are frustrated with the situation, no doubt, because they would have felt this was their year, and now they've got a big challenge on their hands to try and catch Liverpool up and obviously overtake them and try and win it. But they've got time to do it, but they've got to start getting some points on the board. So this is a massive, massive game for them. As I say, they've had this recent blip in form. They seem to have lost a fair bit of confidence, but it just feels like since they've returned from the international break, they look stronger. They look like very determined. Obviously, they got that big win over Nottingham Forest. Now, on paper, early in the season, maybe before the season started, you probably go, beating Nottingham Forest at home is no big deal. But Nottingham Forest, as we well know, a good side, well organised, do not concede many goals, and are very, very good. And Arsenal just dismantled them quite comfortably, actually. And then obviously they go there and away to Sporting Lisbon, 5-1 win. I mean, it shows that the towels are up at Arsenal, and West Ham are going to certainly be in for a hell of a game here. We've got to be right up for this. I'll come on to West Ham in a minute. But let's talk about... I feel like when you look at Arsenal, that, as I say, they're littered with quality. They really do. Their recruitment's been outstanding. But I'll tell you what, you look at their midfield and their defensive pairing. So you've got the Odegaard and Rice situation in the Arsenal midfield. It's just formidable. It makes them so strong. They really are. And Odegaard is just a wonderful player. Amazing to watch. And I was a little bit unaware of how good he was really when he came over from Real Madrid. I think it was a loan, if I remember rightly, originally, just to get some game time. Then he made it permanent. But he's got better and better. And this season, he really appears to be really stamping his mark now in the Premier League, becoming a really, really top player. I feel like he's really got to grips with the pace of the league now, and he's just unbelievable. Some of his plays is outstanding, a real joy to watch. And obviously, we know Declan Rice, we don't have to talk about him, but what quality player he is. And then you've got the pairing at the back of Saliba, Gabriel. I mean, probably the best pairing in the Premier League when it comes to centre backs. I mean, it makes them a really strong side. If you've got those four playing, they're a hard team to beat. And as I say, then you've got the quality of people like Saka, Martinelli. I know he can be inconsistent at times, but still, when he's on it, he really is an incredibly dangerous player. Very quick and very sort of ruthless way of finishing as well. There's so much quality in that side. Timber's come back this season and looking very good. I've been really impressed with Arsenal, I've got to say. I know they've had a few weeks where they've struggled and they've lost a little bit of confidence, but it feels like they've turned that page now. So I feel like they're now back feeling good again and right up for their title challenge. But yeah, it's an interesting one. The only thing they haven't done, which I'm still baffled by, is the striker situation. I don't know why they haven't addressed it. I know that they've got Kai Havertz there, and don't get me wrong, he's a great player. There's no denying that. I'm just not convinced that he is the answer to what they need. They lack that sort of 20-25 goals a season striker. That's the bit they lack. I'm surprised they haven't addressed it. I know they've been Isak has been linked with them. But they didn't get it done. There seems to be a bit of a, I wouldn't say arrogance from Arteta over the striker situation, but it feels like an obvious one to sort out, and they just seem to be not doing it. I don't quite know why. Ivan Toney for me was always one I thought would go there. And look, I'm not suggesting Ivan Toney was going to be there and be a player that'll be there for the next 10 years, obviously with his age, but I feel like you could have a couple of years out of Ivan Toney and he probably would have been the difference. That kind of he would guarantee you goals if he's fit, but they didn't get him. I mean, it's up to them. And of course, I'm sure they've got enough, don't get me wrong, quality to still go and win the league without another a striker. But I just feel like when you look at the Arsenal team, that is the missing bit. And it'd be interesting to know actually what Arsenal fans think about that, because that's certainly how I feel. I mean, they may feel, no, look, Kai Havertz is more than capable of leading the line, and we've got enough support around him and quality, obviously getting goals from Saka, as I say, Martinelli as well. The midfield also obviously chipping as well with their goals. So they have got goals all over the pitch, but I feel like, you look at the Manchester City, the Haaland, that's the big difference, isn't it? If you've got someone that can bag you goals on a regular basis, that's just usually enough to get you the titles. And I feel like that's the bit they're missing. But still, a wonderful side. And, I don't like them. I don't like them because it's Arsenal and London rivalry. And Arteta is just, the way he goes about things at times, I find just painful. As I say, win at all costs, but sometimes it's quite hard to watch. He can be very nasty. Some of the things I remember once he rolling an injured player onto the pitch against West Ham. He got injured, and he rolled him back on to waste time and all that sort of stuff. He is an absolute. And I've noticed as well, you probably do it against West Ham. He does it most games. There's always like cramp at some stage during a game, and you'll see a player just go down, and I'm sure they're being instructed to go down, because all of a sudden all the players go around Arteta. They all having drinks of water. He's been given a full team talk. He's a clever guy, but he is, there's no those levels he won't sink to win a game. Do you know what I mean? He will do anything to win a game. And as I say, I get why Arsenal are behind that. If that was a West Ham manager, I'd be going, yeah, we love that. We want to win at all costs kind of thing. But sometimes it's like being the opposition, it can be quite tough to take at times. But yeah, I mean, there's no denying he's been an amazing appointment for them. On to West Ham, but before I do, I want to point you in the direction of our sponsors, our new sponsors for this channel. It's a Firebox, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to present. I have got some videos that I want to basically share on this channel, but at the moment I'm not able to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share their website. So this is Firebox website at the moment. So basically this is a clothing brand for men. They do t-shirts, shorts, they do jeans, jogging bottoms, jackets, you name it. It's stunning quality. I'll tell you what, we're really fussy about who we work with on this channel. We really are. We like to make sure that we are working with top quality brands and reputable brands and things like that. So I think I said this in the previous video. I asked them to send me some bits over because I wanted to check it out, and I said, look, if we're not quite happy with it, we won't go ahead with it. But I've been stunned by how great it is. In fact, I'm wearing one of their tops in this video now. The quality is stunning. It's slick. It's there's no logos. It's not all over the place. It's very much a plain but very slick design. And it really works well. Honestly, I can't rave about them enough. Honestly, they are amazing. The quality of clothing is stunning. And if you go onto the link below, you can get a 20% discount on top of also the discounts they've got here. As you can see here, they've got Black Friday going on at the moment. They've got a sale on here. They've got bestsellers as well. They've got new things coming in. You can also get to do a pack builder. Pack builders are really impressive. So you get to do 3 items, 30% off. You get 6 items for 40%. Half price, you get 12 items. Now, obviously, with Christmas coming up, this is seriously one you need to be looking at. It is well worth a browse. So I'm going to click the link in below. Have a little look. As I say, if you use the code West Ham Way, then you can get a 20% discount. We are thrilled to be working with Firebox. They are a top drawer brand, and we highly recommend you go and check it out. As I say, the link below. Click on the link as well. Don't go on your browser and type in Firebox, because if you go via the link, they give us a little pat on the head for saying, thanks for getting people to go on our site from the channel. So it really does help us out as well. So we really do appreciate it. And as I say, with Christmas coming up, by the way, as well, I just want to mention their jogging bottoms. I wear jogging bottoms to go to the gym, right? I typically wear jeans when I'm out and about, or work clothes. I wear something different. But with these, the jogging bottoms, they're so lovely, so comfortable. They fit amazing. I'm not going to show you the ones I've got on now. They are them. I promise you, I'm wearing jogging bottoms. I'm not just sitting in my pants. And but they are lovely. They are really comfortable, nice. They fit lovely. It's so much so now that I wear them out. Do you know what I mean? I'm comfortably wearing them going out to go, if I'm going shopping or whatever I'm going out and about. I wear them. They're really lovely, very good quality, and look nice. And I'm not one for like big flashy images and logos over my tops and stuff. I like to wear stuff that's quite plain but sort of slick and fits nice. This is right up my alley. So, basically, if you want to look like me, then just go on this. It's easy. And obviously you do. You're only human. I'm only joking, of course. But look, go and check it out. As I say, the link's in the description below. Use the code West Ham Way. You get 20% discount. So, yeah, we do appreciate you going over and check that out. As I say, it does help us with the channel as well further. So, let's talk about West Ham. We're coming off the back of a huge win, huge performance against Newcastle. They were outstanding, West Ham, in that second half. Really were. I was so impressed. And considering the pressure we were going into that game, bear in mind, Lopetegui, had we lost that game and lost it heavily, which I anticipated we would, I predicted 4-0 to Newcastle. I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I'm really glad that Lopetegui was able to give me the old, have some of that. I'm more than happy for that to happen. So, I fully expected us to get rolled over. And the fact that our head coach not only responded by putting in our team and a tactical display that works so well, and those players work so hard. I mean, there was not one player in that team you could come out and say they had a bad game. I know you could say, well, Tadibo nearly made a mistake. Okay, he did. Fair enough, he did make a mistake in terms of an Anthony Gordon chance. Great save from Fabianski. However, the rest of his game was excellent. He wasn't bad. He didn't play badly at all. So it was a really, really good performance. And I do feel like it's breathed some belief into the season. It's given everyone a bit of sense of optimism. I'm not popping champagne here. I'm not going mad thinking that's it now. We're top 4, here we come. Absolutely not. There's a long way to go yet, but we've got something now to build on. There are foundations there now to go, okay, this is the system that works for West Ham. Let's now try and build on this. If I'm a West Ham player this week, I'll be absolutely itching to get on that pitch against Arsenal. I imagine that when they come off that pitch against Newcastle, they couldn't wait for this game to come round, because you know what it's like when you've got a good performance in you play well, you can't wait to go again. And it's also the opposite. The opposite, isn't it? When you lose, you're sort of dreading games, and that's how I was going to Newcastle. I was dreading it. So the fact we responded so well was outstanding. I'm really pleased, and it's given us bit of a lift, isn't it, going to the Arsenal game? I do feel now there's a bit of confidence about us now. We can do something here. So yeah, very much looking forward to this one, and I do feel like now we've got something to go into a bit of belief, which is very good. So about the team, Edson Alvarez is, of course, available now. He's just served his suspension, his second suspension this season, which is ridiculous, but he had to serve an additional game because that was his second red card in the space of a short period of time, whatever it was. So he's now available. There's Nicholas Fulkrug's apparently getting close to returning. I'm not going to consider him available. Still a very confusing situation with him. I think he's going to be going in January anyway, which I'm all for, because I want us to go and get a striker that works for this club. To be honest with you, I'm not convinced on him, what I've seen, and I'm not happy with the idea that he's not happy, he's not settled in London. I don't quite understand it. And then you got Mohamed Kudus, of course, is banned still. He's not going to be available. But aside from that, I think everybody is available. Before I go into the team and predictions, we'll talk about a couple more things. Lopetegui, I mean, he's given himself now some breathing space. He will absolutely have... If we lose to Arsenal, his job's safe. There's no way they're going to be dismissing him at this stage. The Newcastle game is probably giving him now up to Christmas. And I've got to say, it's a shame we're playing Arsenal this time, isn't it? Because it'd be nice now, because the fixtures coming up after. We've got Leicester City after. We've then got Wolves. We've got some games. I know we've got Liverpool in the mix run up to Christmas, but we've got a good run of games. Southampton. There are some fixtures coming up that you do look at and feel now that West Ham can capitalise on, and we can now get some points on the board going into the new year. This is a free hit, as I've said, I think, for the Arsenal game, and I feel like that will help us. I feel like we can go into this thinking like, look, we don't have to win. We don't have to get a result. It's not like hanging by a thread. We can go out here and just enjoy it. Let's derail them. Let's cause them problems and let them feel the pressure. And I feel like I'm hoping that's going to help Lopetegui as well with this, because I don't want him to go into this game trying to tinker too much and do, he's got the team. He's got the setup that works. I just don't want him to move away from it. I don't think he will. I've got a feeling that he will play something similar now. Now he's got something to work from. I really do hope that's the case. But this is a big game. This is one of them games. As I said, I know the pressure's off, but let's just imagine West Ham were to win this game. It's like beating Newcastle and beating Arsenal would be so much belief into West Ham that I genuinely would start to go, and do you know what? We are going to be fighting for European football again. It really could be a big opportunity for us. But at the same token, it's not one where we lose and you go, well, that's it. We're destined for a relegation battle. I just want to see a good performance from West Ham in this. That's what I'm really hoping for. Another solid, good performance. Because we are up against a very, very good side that are in good form as well. So it's going to be very tough. But make no mistake, this could be a big moment in our season. If we can get something out of this could be a big, big moment. Let's talk about the team. I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry to ruin it. I'm not changing anything. I don't think we need to change anything with this team. I don't see the point in it. I absolutely would not be bringing Edson Alvarez into this team. I feel like he's become a bit of a liability anyway with his constant sending offs. He can't walk back into the side, especially after that performance from the midfield against Newcastle. I just don't think it worked. I do not think it works at all. I think we don't need to see Alvarez back inside. Don't get me wrong, great player to have on the bench, and he will no doubt play a key role for us again. I'm not saying he's out, but for this game, absolutely no way. I don't want to see anything change, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go for Lucas Fabianski in goal. A defence of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to have Jean-Claire Todibo alongside Max Kilman and Emerson at left back. I'm going to have a midfield three. I'm going to have Souček playing this more defensive role, but obviously advancing forward with Paqueta and Soler in the middle. I quite like this midfield. I like this midfield of the way that they're rotating the three of them. You found that Souček was doing defensive, but then when we were attacking, he was bombing forward, and you have Soler dropping back a little bit, Paqueta going for it. It was just nice. It was like the three were working around it. It just worked really well, and we don't need to change that. I don't feel we need to change that. I appreciate it's a different opponent, but let's get it right. Newcastle are a bloody good side, and I don't see why we need to change that midfield. I really don't. And Souček, he was very good again, and I feel like he's having such a great season for us. He's become such an important player again at this club, and it's yeah, I won't be changing anything at all. So yeah, and my up front, well, the front three will be Bowen out on the right, Somerville on the left, and Mikel Antonio up front. The question is, Kudus, when he comes back, will he come straight back into the side? Again, if West Ham were to go and play Arsenal and play really well, get whatever, regardless of the result, just play really well, I don't see how Kudus steps back into this side. I like having Somerville out on the left. I don't want to change that at all. We've got a natural left winger. I would say the only time you really might be looking at Kudus is maybe if you're going to take Souček off and you're going to play him as a more advanced number 10, or maybe even play him up front, something like that. Or maybe if you've got an situation with Bowen where you maybe put Bowen up front and Kudus out on the left, whatever. But I don't want to see too much changing when Kudus comes back available. I really don't. And as much as he's a great player, we want to keep players in their right position. At the moment, you know, what we saw at Newcastle, that is a very good team. We know it works well. Well, I want to know your predictions for this one. This has been a hard one for me to predict. I'm going to be honest, because it feels obvious in a sense. Not obvious. What's the word? Like, I should be saying Arsenal win. And there's no reason for me really not to be, because they are such a good side. They really are. You know, they're a team that are fighting for a Premier League title. They're a title contender once again. This is now their third year, I think, of going for the title, maybe their fourth. They are a formidable side in the Premier League these days. They've certainly left those Wenger just getting fourth spot, happy with that days behind. They feel like they're now pushing on sort of Arsenal of old, you know, the early Wenger days, the early 2000s, where they were just very, very strong side, ruthless, and dread playing them. You know, wherever they played, always very, very good team to play. Difficult team to play against. So I just feel like it's kind of my head's saying to me, yeah, Arsenal will win this game. And I look, there's been no shame in West Ham losing to Arsenal at all. I've just got a feeling, you know, just got a feeling about this game. I do feel that West Ham now, because the pressure's off of us, we can go into it. I'm sort of getting flashbacks to the season we drew 2-2 with them at home. When they were 2-0 up against us in the first, I think they were like 2-0 up in 5 minutes, something ridiculous. And then we came back in 2-2, and Bowen got the equaliser, and it was a Derail. That was a big draw for them. I think that was on the back of another draw they had. Obviously, last season, don't forget, we beat them twice, beat them in the cup at our place. We then beat them at the Emirates, didn't we? 2-0. A result that cost them the title. You know, if they'd beaten West Ham, they'd have won the league. So I've still got a part of me feels like there's a bit of belief here. You know, I really do think we could cause them a few issues. So I'm going to go with West Ham 2, Arsenal 2. It's going to be I've got a feeling this is going to be a really good game. I really hope it is, because last season was embarrassing at London Stadium. You know, 6-0 was horrendous. I don't see that happening again. I really don't. I feel like I'll be stunned if West Ham just rolled over. I feel like on the back of that Newcastle result and performance, I just don't see us rolling over at all for them. And I think we're going to give them a game. I'd like to know what you think. Anyway, fingers crossed. This is going to be an interesting one. And this is, wouldn't it be amazing if we could do it? Come on, you Irons.